Hello, everybody. We are super, super glad to see you guys here today. We are so excited to plan for 2023. I know, right? I'm super, super excited about this. Super excited about 2023. I have some big plans this year and and a different way that I'm approaching my calendar. So I'm really excited to talk about that. So
Oh, cool.
hi, welcome
Hello.
everybody. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. Actually, I know, Caro, you were saying, oh, Sky gets to be the co host if I die, but oh no, it's you as the official co host of the Boozy Planner-o-rama.
She's so
It's,
sneaky.
it's you. So let's start with you, my fabulous and talented co host, Carol
Hello.
Brown.
Hello, my name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author. I also write romance under the name of Faye Black. And for today's Boozy, I actually got all my other planning done because I know how I am with Boozy, which is talking and not doing much planning. So what I'm going to work on for this session is I'm actually going to work on my game planner. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm a big gamer, and one of the things that I've noticed is that I don't remember things that people ask me, like, do you remember when we did this raid? And I'm like, no.
So now you're going to start tracking that?
Yeah, so it's just I got like a little Hobonichi Weeks thing because I really don't need a lot of details with my gaming habits or hobbies or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go and I do a particular raid or anything like that, this will capture it, and I can just quickly flip through it while people are asking me in Discord. I'm like, yeah, we did that on July 3rd. It was great.
It was great. It was great. It was great. All right. Well, that's cool. I am very, very excited. I may have mentioned that. I really struggled this year, as a lot of people did, right? And so I think that I'm taking a completely different approach, and we'll see how that goes.
What do you mean? Sorry, somebody's saying that the stream hasn't started.
What? It's
Yeah.
live.
Oh, I see comments. Okay, it's just this person. Continue on.
Hi, everybody. Here, let's just do a quick check-in. I don't know why I'm typing it. Let's do a quick check-in. If you can see us live, please say hey in the comments below. The horror geek just texted me, and he said, A, can't follow directions, and B, you're live. So we are live. It was just one person. So I apologize if you can't find us. We're here. Wait, everybody wave your hands so they can see us. What? Okay. All right. I've only had one little sip of a drink, so you wouldn't think I'd be too super crazy. Let's say hello to our fabulous co-host today. Amy is also here with us to do a little 2023 planning. Amy, will you tell us a little about you and your awesome plans for 2023? What are you going to be doing tonight?
Oh, tonight I'm just going to be going cray-cray with the stickers. I've actually, earlier in December, did all of the line drawing and color coordinating and all that fun stuff for the rest of 2023. So I've just been on Sundays putting in the stickers so that I can amuse myself with a new batch of stickers each week.
I love that.
Yes, thank you. Tonight is space animals. I've got cats, dogs, pandas, and llamas, and unicorns with space helmets and a whole bunch of holographic on them. I don't remember where I got them from, but they're hella cute.
Well, they sound very cute, and I'm very excited to hear throughout 2023 how they're going to help you to really accomplish your goals. There's nothing like a llama to keep you motivated, especially one in a cute little spade helmet. The horror geek says, no one bosses me around. I'm the king of Mike. Sky, tell us a little bit about you. Hello, everybody. We're so happy to see you. Mike, tell us, or Mike. Horror Geek, tell us a little about you and what you're going to be doing.
No, Horror Geek isn't here. I'm the one that's been drinking.
He's here. He's here in spirit. Sky, tell us a little. Are you? We're in trouble. We're already in trouble, you guys. We got to the Boozy before the Planner-o-rama, I think.
Sky, for the love of God, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sky, not Mike. And I write paranormal romance under the name S.T. Higgins, and tonight I am not doing 2023 planning yet, only because I have done a lot of it already, and I have things that are kind of lots of up in the air stuff going on right now. So I only want to plan like what I've already done. So I'm just working on my plan for next week and writing out everything I'm supposed to do in my weekly planner. So that's
Okay.
what I'm doing tonight.
Okay, so you're going. So you've done a lot of 2023 so far, and you're doing your week planning right now.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. We've had lots and lots of. Well, welcome tonight. I have been also working on my 2023 plans for a while because I had a sort of rough year last year, which you guys know. My daughter was sick. I just wasn't able. Why are you laughing, Caro?
Mama Ward said liquor before stickers, and I was like, that's me.
It's going to be a fun night, you guys. So anyway, so yeah, so I've already made a bunch of, so I already started planning, but I am now like, and I've really spent a lot of time organizing and what I want to accomplish this year, but also I'm doing it in a completely different way than I have before. And so now that I've done all of that, now is when I start putting that into my planner so that I can execute week by week. So I am planning 2023 tonight and putting that and the specific plans and sort of the breakdown of those things in my calendar tonight. So I'm super excited. And we have an exciting new thing where this is just a test launch tonight. But Caro and I have an exciting change coming for you guys soon. And I'll be the test monkey tonight. But if you guys like it, we'll do more of it in the new year. So
I want
let's
you to notice every time Lisa says surprise, I'm like, do I know about the surprise? Like, what's happening?
I need you know what I need for when I say surprise, you guys? I need something that works in the same way that this works for the regular Wednesday night, right? I need that. I need that for the Boozy Planner-o-rama. All right, let's say hi to our friends in the chat. We've got some fabulous folks here tonight. Hello, Mama Ward. I'm super excited to see you tonight. What are you going to be working on for your planning? And what is your biggest goal for 2023? So that's going to be our first question for the night. What is your biggest goal for 2023? So be thinking about that as we go around. And somebody write it down because you guys know I'll forget by the time I get back. Okay. Oh, it's you. Welcome. All right, there we go. Hey, Alexa, we are super glad to see you here tonight. Let us know what you're going to be planning. Your biggest goal for 2023. What are you going to be doing? I'm super excited. Hello, Mr. Graham. Very glad to see you tonight. Benu's here. Hello. We are super, super glad to see you tonight. Let us know what you're going to be planning for next year. Biggest goal. Vixen's here. Hello. So glad to see you guys today. Super glad you're here. All right. Mama says, I need to finish making the rest of the planner bujo pages for Hold My Tea 2023. Everybody says, yes, we are, in fact, live. So that's a relief. Vixen is working on my writing and potential publishing goals and schedule for 2023.
Woohoo.
Yeah, that is awesome. Very, very nice. Caitlin's here. Hello, Caitlin. Very glad to see you today. Stacy's here. Hello, Stacy. We're super happy that you made it. So I will say, you guys remember the first ever Boozy Planner-o-rama, Robert was here with us, Robert Jones, the story detective. And he was planning to come tonight, and who forgot to send him the invitation until like 2 minutes ago. That would be this girl right here. So yeah. Thank you, Jorge. I know all your secret plans, buddy. Don't you try anything. All right. So liquor before stickers. Yeah. Finished my Kanban last week. Mama, look at you. Very nice. Ooh, Mama Ward's got some boozy hot cocoa for me tonight because of reasons. That must be very, very nice. Yes, Coffee Life. We are so glad you are here today. So I am drinking a special Boozy Planner-o-rama drink tonight. It sounded good and I made it and it is good. But like I said, I'm not sure if I said it earlier live or when we were backstage, but it's cream soda, which is like one of those things where you don't have it from the childhood, right? Cream soda, childhood. Yeah.
Oh, I
And
drink it all the time. It's one of my favorites.
I know, I sort of dig it, right? And spiced rum and on ice. And it's pretty
So you're a
good.
pirate.
I am. I'm a cream soda pirate, and it's pretty delicious. But I will say, when I mixed the cream soda with the liquor, it went like it fuzzed up like like that, like it almost came out of the glass. You
Oh,
you
that's not
need
good.
you need another one of those. Okay, all right.
I'm having Appalachian sipping cream today. This is my third glass. I'm very sorry, but I'm not.
That's all right. Well, there are sometimes we have the Boozy Planner-o-rama where it's a lot more planning and a lot less booze, and sometimes it's the other way around. Okay,
Please plan responsibly.
I know tomorrow everybody's going to wake up. We're going to dig into our little Erin Condrens, and we're going to be like, when did I decide I was going to publish 11 books next year? How did that happen? And I mean, like, you committed to the group. You have to publish 11. I'm kidding. You have to publish 11 books. You should find a Huzzah, GIF, or Clipley's.
There's definitely been some people when they were like telling me their publishing goals. It's like, yeah, I'm going to publish a book like every month and like 4 short stories. And I'm like, when do you sleep?
Yeah. I know
that's just my question.
I know there are people who do it. I know there are authors who do it, because I know many of them who do it. But for me, I can't publish that quickly. Mama Ward says, not your grandpa's cream soda is good. Oh, there is one.
That is good.
Not your grandpa's root beer.
Oh, yeah.
Love
Those
that
are
one.
both good. I've had them both. Yeah. If
Mm.
you want alcohol and sugar, that's your thing.
Really? All right. That's good. That's right.
It also means a terrible hangover the next day, but
Yeah, I can kind of see that. All right. I'm going to do a banner, and let's see if we can create that. All right, here we go. Question 1 is, what is your biggest goal for 2023? Here we go. Wait a minute. It didn't come up. I'm going to do it again because apparently I have a banner limit and I've hit it. All right, let's try it again. Q1, what is your biggest goal for 2023? Let's start by Caro telling us, what is your biggest goal for 2023?
My biggest goal? Okay, so my biggest goal is everything that I have that's in the works right now will be finished and published by the end of 2023. Ooh. That's my current goal. Which on the surface, that's like, wow, that's really impressive. It's not. It's really not.
It is impressive. Let's not sell ourselves. It's not even January yet. Let's not sell ourselves short yet.
Well, I mean, because some of these things I've already started. Like, hold on, let me grab my book.
Let's have your planner.
Yeah, let me pull my planner out. Which, by the way, not that they're sponsoring me, but this is the Wonderland Planner 222, which I would love to be affiliate of, because the moment I started writing this, it was fucking amazing. Like so outside of the. Oh my God, you have no idea. Like, I really want to write like such a review video of this planner, but I'm going to focus. Okay, so. Outside of the short stories that were already written and ready to be published back in like October, the books that I want to finish are Tango Tango, which has actually been something that I've been working on since I think I first met Sky and Amy. So I'm like, I have to finish this book. This is absolutely ridiculous. Bountiful Love, which I started earlier this year, and I really want to finish it. There's another book called Blood in the Rain, and then there's 2 comic series I want to finish. The scripts, not drawing. I'm not doing any of this drawing business. One is called Together I Stand, which is my redneck John Wick comic series that I want to do. It's absolutely, it's got action and redneck humor in it, so I absolutely adore it. And then there's Street Magic, which is technically almost done right now. And then there is a Beauty and the Beast retelling that's called Beast and Thorns that I want to finish.
I love a good retelling.
This one I love in particular, but those are all the things I want to get done by the end of 2023. So that is my big goal.
Excellent. Do all the things. All right. Guess who's here? Yay! Robert made it tonight. So, Robert, I apologize because I thought I actually put the stream up a couple days early. I think I put it up Friday or maybe Saturday morning. Like, I put it up earlier than my usual 10 minutes before we go live. And I had in my brain that I had sent you an invitation, but no, not true. So I'm glad you are paying attention to your Facebook messages and that you have joined us plan tonight. So our question one that we are just about to answer, which Caro just answered, is what is your biggest goal for 2023? So I'm going to, oh, you have it? You have an answer, Robert?
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's have it.
Well, my biggest goal is to get my book edited and to get something out there before the end of this year. That would be, my biggest thing, because I have, I'm kind of approaching the final stages of things. There's probably another draft to go, and then I want to work on the craft book a little bit to follow up with that. But I'm thinking unless this year goes terribly wrong, I should get there.
Okay.
So that's my big goal.
So when you say out there, you mean published, correct?
Published, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. That's a big goal. You know what you need? I think you know it's coming. I think you know it. You deserve it. We're very excited. I'm really excited that this is the year that this is the publishing goal. I'm super excited about that. All right. That is fantastic. And we're so glad you made it tonight. Sky, tell us what your biggest publishing goal is for 2023 or biggest.
So I'm looking at finishing the 4-book series that I've been writing and working on for 4 years now. And I finally finished the second draft of book 3. Now I'm working on the second draft of book 4. But in between writing and editing all of this, I am rebranding the series under a new name. It's getting brand new covers. It's going to be unpublished as it is now and republished under another name with newer, better covers. And yeah, that's my big goal, is getting all 4 books up by the end of 2023.
Nice. I love that. Very, very nice. Amy, how about you? What's your big goal for 2023?
My big goal actually comes from a big announcement kind of thing.
Really?
I actually got a head of marketing position at the beginning of November.
What?
Yeah, for a small company, but I'm also launching the marketing department. They've been doing small stuff, and now they're like, all right, well, we're opening a North America branch, so how about we set up some marketing? And I'm like, I got this. Get out of my way.
Nice.
So that's my big goal, is to launch that. Like, it's going to take up probably every waking moment I have to spare.
Wow.
So,
all right.
It's going to take some time, but I got this.
I love that. That is absolutely fantastic. All right. So the Coffee Life says, query literary agents and hopefully find the right fit who believes in me and my writing. That is an awesome goal. And it's so important too, because I think when we're looking for our first literary agency, right, you're just like, whoever will take me and sell this book. But it's really important long-term to try to find somebody who really believes in you, really believes in your work. That said, if you find someone who you're like, yes, they can do a good job, and they're the first person, not the first person, if they're the only person, and you're like, they're pretty good, they're good enough, I would go ahead and go, and then you can trade up as you go. That is what I did. All right. JC is here. Hello, JC. We are super, super glad to see you tonight. Let us know what your biggest goal is for 2023. I'm so glad you're here. Alexa says, biggest goal to complete the MBA program by the end of the year. Awesome. Move to a new condo in February and finish the manuscript of my current work in progress. That is awesome. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's see. Stacy's get at least one family history story, including formatting and picking out pictures for, and I would like to have one original fiction rough draft piece. Good for you. Very nice, guys. All right, Mama, for Hold My Tea 2023, I'm moving my Velas to KDP and Kindle, working on publishing the Servants of the Moon trilogy while finally finishing the Revelation Night trilogy. That is very big. Very nice. Yay. All right, Vixen, get one of my work in progress published under my known pen name. That is an excellent, excellent goal. Oh yeah, got it. Of not og. I got it. We knew what you meant. Hey, Eva, we're super glad to see you today. Laura's here. Hello, Laura. About the thumbnail at a horror comic based off one of my 100-word stories. I think it'll be 5 pages. Cool. All right, Laura, we want to know what's your biggest goal for 2023. Let us know. Oh, you're so welcome. RC's here. Hello. RC's got unplanned visit, and we've got, oh, I see, drum roll. Very not. Now I need one of those too, right? Eva is going to finish drafting and editing her middle grade project and pick a course of publication. I assume you mean traditional or indie. Totally fantastic. Love, love, love. Little high back and forth. Everybody's super excited. What? Eva says Laura won the Wordsmith Wrangle today. That is super fantastic. Very, very nice. Congratulations. I know I too much, right? I love that thing so much. So my RC says he's working on a new story about planners. Very nice. Very nice. We love that. We love that very much. So my biggest goal, I have many goals for 2023. I have an ambitious year, but I've also eliminated a lot of stuff on my calendar so that I can get some of these big projects executed, done, published up, all of that. But I think my biggest goal for 2023 is to release the first hockey rom-com in my new, brand new hockey rom-com series. And my pub date that I've picked out is at the end of January. And the reason that one is the most important for me is because I have, like I said, I have a really ambitious publishing schedule this year. And I feel like if I can make that one happen, then I can make the rest of it happen. But if I can't make that one happen, then I feel like that pushes back other things and that might screw up my momentum. So my hope is that I can make this happen, get this book published for the end of January.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, right. It's been going.
That was my motivational speech. Do it.
Do it. Do it. You can do it. I have, I've really been playing, and I'm doing something kind of interesting this year. So this is like one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about for today. I went to a number of conferences this year. One of them was Novelist Inc. One person that I saw speak multiple times, who's also a client, who I worked with last year on her nonfiction book, is a woman named Skye Warren, who is like a big 7-figure romance author. And one of the things that she said was that she went from 5 to 6 figures and then to 7 figures a year when she started planning a marketing event every week. So like one week, a marketing event might be like a cover reveal. And then another week, it might be like the reveal of, or the release of an audiobook or a box set or some other, a sale or something like that. And so originally my plan, in the first talk, she said, well, try to do at least 2 marketing events a month, which I go, yeah, that's reasonable. I can do that. But then when she said like, oh, this is what took my business to the next major level, was to do one every week, I was like, well, crap, I guess I'm going to have to do that. But what happened was, because I had like this sort of ambitious planning schedule that I really wanted, or this ambitious publishing schedule that I really wanted to do, and this idea that I would do a marketing event every week, I took those 2, the list of publications or books, and then the list, and then trying to figure out like how would I promote those anyway, and then adding some extra things. And I did in fact come up with 52 weeks worth of marketing events.
Oh, nice.
I came up with like 49 weeks. I left myself like a blank week every quarter in case there was a delay. Smart. We need to move something around. Like I didn't want it to be all full, just in case I had some opportunity to partner with, other authors or something like that. So yeah, so that's what I did. I put the whole thing on Notion, and now I'm working on the week by week sort of execution lists of each week's big marketing event. So that is what you're going to see me do tonight. And who's ready for the other big surprise? Are you ready? Planner Cam!
You're gonna have to make that the big cam.
I don't know. I mean, you guys can still see it, right? Well, that's a big
We
hand.
want big cam. We want to be
Okay.
nosy. I want to see your life.
There's not. Hold on. There's nothing on it right now. All right, I'm going to make it big. Can you guys see it? All right, this is it. All we know is that Matt Coyle is going to come to the live stream on Wednesday the 4th. You guys are the first ones to hear. I was texting him during our last live stream. And I have written some stuff. So my very first week of January, the pre-order is going to go live for my hockey rom-com, which is called The Cutting Edge. What? And so I have lots of stuff to plan in that. Okay, I'm going to make it small again. Hold on. Wait. Whoa, there we go. Okay. I don't think, like, if we have I can do it like this, can't I? Wait, is that going to work? No.
If you're doing what I think you're about to do, that's what I wanted you to do.
I clicked on, here, hold on. I want to go like that. Okay, now I'm big, but I can make.
There you go.
The planner can be big. Also, why are we all on the other side? Aren't we usually on the, okay.
I don't know. I'm not StreamYard.
Okay. So
why am I on the top?
I don't know. I'm on the bottom. Like, it just happened.
I'm not the host.
All right, we're gonna look now. I'm way down here. Here, you're over here. You're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna switch
No,
Robert.
I don't like this.
I'm gonna switch Robert over here. There we go. Okay. All right.
It's like
Benu's having Brady Bunch flashbacks.
I'm just gonna put lines in my planner.
Okay, so Mama says instead of Planner-o-rama, it's Planner-o-camera. That's right. Eva says I just have a post-it with 2023 written at the top and do things written under that. I love that.
I can't go wrong with that plan though.
Right. I'm gonna just switch everybody around. It'll be fun. There. Here, I'm gonna put the planner in the middle. There you go. Okay.
I'm just gonna put lines in my planner.
Planner Cam is now a celebrity. What's a celebrity? Celebrity? Plan Cam. We call. Let's see. Eva says it's probably small. Wait, what? Let's see. Eva says, have you been on the Rightish podcast yet, Lisa?
Nope.
I have not been on the Rightish podcast, but I will say that one of my sort of like small goals for this year is to do more writer podcasts and things like that. Like last year, I just did not really do any interviews. I just did a couple. But last night I went to a holiday party for with the director of daytime was throwing it. And I saw all my like TV friends and it was really nice. And they were like, a couple of people are like, oh, we got to get you on for this, or, oh, we got to get you on for this. So now I'm kind of like, yeah, I miss being on TV. I miss doing interviews. So, all right, you guys, let's see. Laura says 2023 goals, publish Tiny Shivers in May.
Oh, nice.
That is such a great title too. Like I can see, I don't know what you have any idea for the co-star, for the cover art, but I can totally see like goosebumps, like goose flesh being, anyway. Okay. Or some other, probably more, I don't know, conceptual thing. But I actually just like pictured goosebumps like on your arm when I read that. Okay, second draft of Crimson Strings done. Yes. Get feedback, incorporate it into my middle grade horror, complete at least 10 comic pages, read 24 books. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Very nice. JC, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Biggest goal for 2023 is to publish another couple of books.
Yeah,
right.
Do it up.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to hold you to this, JC, because your best goals are SMART goals, right? So they're, who knows what all the letters stand for? Basically, that they're specific, measurable, actionable. What's the R?
Timely
and
time. Yeah.
R is the
That's
one
smash.
Measurable, accurate. measurable,
Achievable.
timely.
Achievable.
No, accurate.
I
Well,
think
okay,
they're
so it
achievable.
depends on who's teaching it because
Okay.
it's either
Specific, measurable, achievable / accurate, achievable. R is what? Oh, no, we don't know, but it's not results. I don't think. Who remembers? I'm gonna have to look this up. Somebody, please. I'm going to the bottom of the comments. Who's doing it? Realistic.
Specific, measurable, achievable, or attainable, realistic or relevant, and time bound.
Time bound. Right. We knew that one. It was the R that got us, that threw us. Yes. Thank you very much, Amy. Thank you very much, Stacy. Laura's got it. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound. Thank you very, very much. So when we say I'm going to publish a couple of books, are you going to publish 2 or 3? I'm dying to know. All right. Matt Coyle is here. Matt, I was just telling everybody that you're going to be guesting with us on the writing live stream for on Wednesday, January 4th. Matt has a fabulous book series, and he has a new book that just came out called Doomed Legacy. This guy has won a gazillion mystery awards, and he is a hell of a writer. If you like mysteries, you should definitely check out his book and his series. So, Matt, I'm so glad we're planning our 2023 goals tonight for writing. So I'm glad you made it. I hope you will plan some goals. What's your biggest thing, Matt, for 2023? We want to know. All right, here we go. RC's goal for 2023, finish graphic novel, this new story, and eat less junk food. I think that is a very good goal. I've been doing really well with eating pretty clean, knowing that I'm going to eat a lot of cookies over the holiday season. But I went to the party last night, and I'm kind of, today's been let's just say not a day of healthy eating tonight. So there's that. Yeah. Wait, Matt, aren't you supposed to be at did you have a book signing? Are you even in town? Okay. All right. So let's talk. So I think we talked about our biggest goals. Did we miss anybody for that? No. Okay. All right. So is there anything you guys are doing different with your planning this year? Like, did you accomplish your 2022 goals? And if not, what are you changing up this year? So that's going to be our second question of the day. Let me just see if I can edit that, since we all know I only have one banner to play with. All right. So here's our question. Did you accomplish your 2022 goals? And if not, what are you doing differently? All right, here we go. You guys shouldn't have to listen to me type, but I think we all know. Here we go. All right, cool. So far I've done nothing with my planner. It's not very exciting to have a blank planner. So maybe we should do some actual planning. How about that? You guys let us know in the chat. Did you accomplish your 2022 goals? And if not, what are you doing differently? RC is just eating a chocolate chip cookie. Stacy is, yes, you can eat cookies all you want. Vixen, excited to work on my graphic novel again. It's been a minute. Wait, did you say cookie sheet nachos? That sounds delicious. All right, RC's goal, finish graphic novel. Oh, we already just did that. Okay, cool. This is what happens when I go backwards, upside down, forward, and all of that. All right. So, Story Detective, did you accomplish your goals for 2022?
No, I did not.
Womp womp. Me either. Womp womp womp. This is why I started planning my 2023 in October, because I just realized, like, I'm not going to get this done. And I was okay with that. Like, I had a really rough year last year. And so I just thought, like, I'm going to just kind of get my bearings and enjoy the end of 2022. And then I'll, make some plans for 2023. And the other thing that I did, so this was based on a talk that Sarah Cannon gave. And you guys know her. She does the HB90 planner system, and she talks a lot about planning over on her channel. And one of the things that she said that I thought was so powerful. And you literally had an entire room full of like high performing authors, like all gasping at the same time. Was basically she plans by quarters, and she says what we do is we're planning for the quarter, and we go, well, I want to write a book every quarter. So I'm going to put that down on my list. And also I would like to make a YouTube video 3 times a week. So I'm going to put that down. I've got 90 days. I can do that. And then we add all this stuff down because we keep using the same 90 days over and over again. Like if we were going to use the same $100 to pay our electric bill and part of the mortgage, and like we're using the same thing over and over again. And so I tried to be a lot more realistic about the fact that I am a human being and not a superhero. And I feel like that might make a difference, but I don't know. So we'll find out. All right. So Mama Ward says, this year I'll have things prepared to do myself, and the books handled by others will be honey in the tea if they get done. And if they don't, it won't affect my goals. Love that. Love, love, love. Stacy says, I did not make any of my goals for 2022, basically because I had not been completing many goals over the past few years. So I think I'm going to make a few goals this year. I think that is fantastic. So Stacy, do you know what it was that was really holding you up with your goals? Was it like, were you planning? This is like, for me, some of my issue has been that I am always really aggressive with my goals. But also, I think I triple, quadruple book my stuff, my writing stuff. So, because I always have like a million other things that, are calling for my attention at any given day. So I'm curious if it was just like, nope, it was a hell of a year. I wasn't getting anything done, which we've all had those. Or if it was just more of I wanted to do 87 things. And because I'm not a time lord, I could only have time to do 5.
Mine was basically, it was a hell of a year.
Uh-huh.
Georgie had her health problems. And for my writing, as I think I told you, Lisa, but I don't think I mentioned it on the stream, is the book that I'm writing, I'm using in my craft book. This is an example of the different things that I'm using. And the story is an example of how I got there.
Right.
And I was about 9/10 of the way of finding a solution that I think would be credible for all people to use, but it just wasn't quite jiving the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
The answers did come, but they came like at the end of this year. So it wasn't a complete waste, I guess, but sometimes you have to roll with the delays, and the health issues were certainly of a priority over everything else. So
they were serious. And so this is one of the things that that Becca Syme, if you guys are familiar with her work, she's the one who writes the Dear Writer, You Need to Quit books. And she's just brilliant. If you ever have a chance to hear her speak or read her books or buy a course from her, you should definitely do it because the information is just so phenomenal. But one of the things that she talks about is how much guilt we put on ourselves if we set these goals, our life falls apart, something terrible happens, and we think we still should be like, oh, well, my mother had cancer and I lost my house and I lost my job and I got electrocuted, but I still should have been able to make my publishing goals. And I definitely suffer from that for sure. Because for years I could get stuff done, even if everything else around me fell apart, I still would be able to execute my own stuff. And sometimes you just can't. So
you know what it is, when you have an actual deadline, that becomes a priority over most everything else because you have to keep that deadline to keep a roof over your head. And when you don't have it, then you reprioritize life.
Right.
And when things happen, then sometimes life can get more in the way than it did before.
Right.
But sometimes those deadlines were detrimental to life because they were pretty hellacious for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I completely agree with everything that you just said on that. I mean, absolutely, absolutely. So I want to know, let's see, I've got some good comments down below. Let's go ahead and get talking about this. Hold on. All right, so Mama Ward, she's already got this one. Dun, dun. Okay, so Vixen says, I threw caution to the wind with goal setting for 2022, so it's hard to measure. By mid-year, I felt like I wasn't finishing projects, just bouncing from one to the next. I think that's true, right? Because we can run ourselves ragged. Like, I do a little bit of this, and I'm doing a little bit of that, and I'm doing a little bit of it. Like, I'm working on this book, and then I'm going to try to do this. And what happens is you've been running like a hamster on a wheel all year long, but we haven't accomplished anything by the end of the year. And that is a terrible feeling, to feel like I've been working my butt off all year long and I don't have any books out, or I have, I accomplished one thing of the 87 things on my list. And for me, I don't know about you guys, but let's find out in the chat. I would rather accomplish 5 things fully than have done partial, like, not completed any project, but gotten work done on 15 projects. So what would you do? Would you rather get forward a little bit, make progress on 15 projects, or complete 5? Let us know in the chat. I'm going to start with you, Sky. What would you rather do? Complete 5 things or make progress on 15?
So I am the kind of person that usually makes progress on 15 without completing anything. I would like to be the person that completes 5. And actually, that's where I kind of screwed up this year, and where I failed my goals, is because I had so much life stuff going on with job switching and stuff like that, and then that's still going on. It's great, it's fantastic, but because of that kind of stuff, I was just happy with whatever I could get accomplished when I could accomplish it, and like every little bit was just like a step in the right direction, even though it was kind of aimless in its own way.
Right.
So I was counting up the other day, and I've only completed 3 or 4 projects this year, and none of them were ones I had planned to do at the beginning of the year. Am I still proud of them? Yes. And I'm like, this was what I needed this year. But next year I want to do more and accomplish what I want to accomplish and kind of stay more on track.
So why do you think you went the direction of ignoring or pushing to the side your goals that you had originally planned to do in favor of new goals? What do you think happened with that?
I think it was more a fact that I just wanted to, with all the stress going on with work and stuff, I just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
And the goals that I had originally set felt more like work than fun.
Right.
And I didn't want to come home from work and do more work. So
I think that's a good, and sometimes we have to make, those kinds of choices to just say, like, okay, this is about life now. So, how about you, Caro? Do you remember the question?
No, I don't remember the question. What was the question, ma'am?
So the question was, would you rather complete 5 things, or would you rather make progress on 15 things?
I'd rather finish, because I can't make money off of things I don't finish.
Ooh, very nice. That's true. Very, very true. How about you, Amy? Finish 5, make progress on 15.
I have to say make progress on 15.
Really?
Because as much as I like to finish things, I have found that if I take that pressure off of myself, and just accept that I'm a homemaker and a caregiver, and I have my personal relationships, and I have work, and I run a homestead. Like, it occurred to me sometime in this last quarter of this year where I was like, okay, as long as everything is moving forward, as long as I'm making those 15 steps forward, I'm doing really good. And if that means that I don't see any deadlines, I don't see any finish lines, and I don't see finished tasks, I'm still making progress on everything that needs progress. So I'm at a point in my life right now where that 15 things that are getting done, even if nothing is completed, I'm okay with that, because it keeps everything going forward.
So I think that's really fascinating that you said it in that way. So I want to say it was positivity. Okay, so I recently did a coaching session with Becca Syme, who works off of the Clifton Strengths, and she worked for Gallup for many years and was a Clifton Strengths trainer. She's really good at it, and she said that for certain personality types, including mine, that over planning, like making more goals than you can realistically accomplish, is not a bad thing. But for a lot of people, for most people who don't have that particular personality trait, that it ends up making you feel sort of disheartened, and it's harder to accomplish goals because you feel like, oh, I'm behind on this one, so I can't do any of them. And I thought that was really fascinating that she had said, oh, you don't want to, like everybody else, they're like, oh, don't overplan, don't stretch yourself too thin. But this idea, like, oh, except for you. and I was one of the people, and I was like, okay, that's kind of funny that, but I will say making my to-do list every day shorter and accomplishing everything on my list every day rather than having a massive to-do list that never ever gets done that I continually add to feels like night and day. And I'm definitely going to keep with a short to-do list. All right, I'm going to have, let's see, we've got this. Hold on, I'm going back. Okay, so we've got some good comments. Dixon is going to work on graphic novel again. It's been a minute. Feel that. Stacy is, yes, eating cookies. RC, 3 stories published and a novella at the end of the month winning. Very nice. So you made your goals in 2022. Excellent. Okay, so Stacy says didn't make any goals for 2022. I made several, but I didn't I don't think I even made half. I was ambitious last year, but I also had the year from hell. So I feel your pain, Stacy. Didn't make goals for 2022, had not been completing many goals. So I'm going to make some goals this year. Very good. Yep. Oh, I am really way behind. Sorry if I've gone through twice. I apologize. All right. So Stacy says, I have found I've had better luck if I plan goals by the month. So I say for each month how many books I want to read. It makes it more manageable. That's true. Anytime we take our goals and break them down to, month, week, day, hour, time block, however you want to do it, makes it easier. If I miss a month, I don't stress it as much. Very good. Spence is here. Very, very nice. Hi, we're super glad to see you. Stacy says COVID happened. Goals went out the window. Made my goals too big. We're like twins.
Yeah, COVID really has thrown me in a heap. But, I've had prior to COVID a couple of years of doing the 15 things, and I have the novels in draft to prove that I accomplished all of those 15 things. So now it's switched up to doing the finishing.
That is fantastic. I'm very glad. Very, very glad to hear that. All right. So I have an absolutely insane to-do list for 2023, considering the fact that I had twins in August. Spence, your goal should be like, take a shower, sleep for 7.5 hours. If you get anything accomplished in 2023 at all, we what's coming, because you deserve it right here, because, right? Yes. It's so hard to do anything with a baby and writing wise, and it is really, really hard. I can imagine with twins, because I think that's a lot. That's a lot, right? So you are doing a fantastic job. You really are. You're here. You're planning. You're still moving forward. That is absolutely fantastic. All right. Mama says completing things is very important to my OCD goal brain. Totally get that. This is why I break everything down to stepping stone goals. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you asked earlier, Lisa, not to derail your commentary, okay, but you asked earlier what we were doing that was different from what we've done before. And one thing that I wanted to talk about was how I've kind of changed my goal setting away from the typical, what do I want to do and how do I want to do it. I'm literally looking the planner that I just put to the side. And one thing that I'm doing kind of differently, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen
Hold on, I'm gonna make
very
it.
well.
I'm gonna make it big. There you go.
Oh, I don't know if you still can see it though. This is what happens when you're like really close. Sorry.
Yeah, we can kind of see it.
Okay, so one of the things that I did was there's a kind of a life evaluation system. It's called Level 10 Life. And obviously there's not 10 things on here, but it's the areas of your life that you want to work on, right? And so when I make goals, I try to make them for the areas that are really important to me. So for example, marriage is at the top because, I love Mr. Brown and I want us to be happy for, into the sunset kind of stuff. Forever, motherfucker. So I got one day you'll let me talk to David, but it'll probably be at the wedding and it'll be too late. So the first thing on my priority list is my marriage because I really love Mr. Brown. And then after that, it's personal development, it's giving, self-care, family and friends, health, career, and I put author. Now, these are not from the Level 10 Life categories, but these are the ones that I was kind of like, these are things that are important to me this year.
Sure.
So when I make goals for the year, I make them in that kind of idea. And one of the other things, and I've done this before with great success, but I have a frequency chart to the surprise of no one with my science degree, right?
Yeah.
So I have a frequency chart and these are in 13-week brackets. And my goal is basically to work on these things for at least 3 times a week, right? Now I haven't populated this because I'm not done with it yet. But, for example, I've got BITR 3K words. So what that means is I want to write 3K words for Blood in the Rain until it's done. That's pretty much the goal. And so I'll put a dot on here. And then when it's done, I'll put like a little star and then it'll be done. And there will be other items on here because I haven't finished deciding what I want to work on for the first quarter of 2023 because I thought that was a little advanced for me right now. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing that I've done differently. This is not different. This right here, this is normal. This is typical Carol like data tracking behavior, so nothing new here.
Right.
But this right here, kind of breaking it up into like the different categories of importance and stuff like that. That's what I've changed. So that was to answer the question that you asked a while ago that I forgot to answer.
Oh no, it's still the current question. It's the
you
question.
guys want to hear a cute, funny Caro story?
Yes.
Wait, I was there.
Caro actually showed me that Level 10 Life thing like 6 months ago, like right in the middle of the year when I was really like, hey, my work's picking up. I'm running out of free time. Like I need to focus, but I need to prioritize. And I was just all over the place. She sent me that. And she sent me a screenshot of one little section in her notebook. And I left the tab up on my browser for like almost 3 weeks. Like, I'm going to get back to this. So I went back to it and I read it and I was like, okay, I'm going to go tell Caro that I finally followed through. I read the thing that she gave me. So I went back to the conversation with Caro, and it just so happened Caro and I hadn't talked very much for those like 2 weeks, which is kind of uncommon for us. But I was able to scroll back up quickly and see that picture. And on that picture, she had written in her friends section, attend Amy's wedding.
Oh,
I did. I was waiting for you to read that shit.
It took me almost 3 weeks to even see that it was there. But David and I do not have wedding plans, but Caro keeps planting that seed.
Bitch, I got your wedding planned. Like, no, you can't see my face. I'm just gonna point. All right, like, listen, I've got wedding plans for you. I know what your ceremony's gonna be like. I know what dress Sky's gonna wear.
Love that.
But yeah, that's how much Caro loves that Level 10 thing. She's already penciled me in for a indeterminate future event. I already made the list.
It's in 2025, just so you know.
The funny
make
thing.
Me break a sweat.
The funny thing is that I had a what was it, Clever Fox planner?
Yeah.
I had a Clever Fox planner, and in my Clever Fox planner, it said in 5 years, get Amy minions. We're on year 3 of 5, and she's looking at getting minions. So I'm on track for what I planned.
Yay, that is
awesome. Very accurate with some of that stuff.
Very nice. Very, very nice. I love that. Love it. All right. I've officially written. Go ahead.
One of the things that I'm doing different is I'm actually while I say I'm planning for the year, I'm not actually planning for the year. I'm only
Oh.
planning quarter by quarter. And like
Ooh.
I'm I am doing the HB90 method actually. I took that course and I am doing the HB90 method. Actually my weekly planning I'm doing now is I'm actually working in the HB90 method undated planner.
Love
But
that.
I with planning by the quarter I'm finding that I'm accomplishing more because I'm able to do the time blocking and seeing exactly the past couple of quarters has been just tracking what I'm doing as I'm doing versus like planning.
Right,
So I
right,
can see how long it takes me to do various things
right.
so that next year I can actually set more realistic goals and hopefully hit those benchmarks that I want to hit.
I think that that is such a good a way to approach things for sure. And I love that Sarah Cannon, again, HB90 Heart Breathings is the channel, and I'll drop a link down below after the stream. But one of the things that I love about the way Sarah plans is that you have 13 weeks in a quarter. She plans out 12 weeks in a week for planning. But I love this idea of time blocking where you're figuring out how long it takes to do things or allotting a certain amount of time. And I think what did she break her blocks into 20 minutes? I don't recall. I think she'd said like do whatever works best for you, but break your day up into these blocks. And the other thing too is that think about what time of day it is when you're doing what you're doing. I have a number of book launch clients, which I love, and I could just do client work like all day, every day. I have so much fun with it. But I also need to write books myself. And so I have to be really cautious to make sure that in addition to to scheduling for them, tasks for them, that I'm actually, taking care of my own work as well. Because, I'm an author, I got to write books or well, I'll still be an author, but I won't produce any books. And that would make me very sad. So we can't have that. Can't have that. I'm looking for a special curly Q sticker just for Matt Coyle's appearance on our Wednesday live stream, but I can't find it. I have all my stickers kind of organized, and then I also have like the random drawer of organization stickers that don't go somewhere else. And that's where the cute curly Qs go, in the random pile.
Oh, what's everybody drinking on this boozy Planner-o-rama?
Whoa, that's a good. We talked about that. What are you drinking, Robert?
Well, I'm not sure how boozy it is, but I'm just drinking Voodoo Ranger.
Ah, that's nice. It melted very quickly. I'm drinking spiced rum and cream soda, which used to have ice in it.
Oh, that sounds good.
I know, right? I saw it online and I thought like, oh, I'll just drink that. So, okay, delicious. Love, love, love. What about you, Sky? What are you drinking?
I have nearly finished my Smirnoff Ice screwdriver, and then I have a Pepsi posing as Guinness in another cup.
Fancy. That's okay. We won't tell. How about you, Amy? What are you drinking tonight?
Believe it or not, I actually do have alcohol, which is uncommon for
What?
me.
That isn't. Well, it is a special. We're right. This is our big
is.
2023 special. So
Yes. It's hazelnut double chocolate stout
Ooh.
from Craft Explorer, and I'm digging it. It's dark and rich, and it's creamy, and like I've been really into hazelnut lately, so it's doing it for me.
I love that. That is absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice. All right. RC says, I'm drinking green tea, dark enough without booze. Super, super true. Heather is here. Hi, Heather. We're very, very glad to see you today. Like what you said earlier about accomplishing a few things on your list in one day, that has been helping me with overwhelm the last couple of years. I can't even tell you. I'm still getting the same, like, this is what was so magical about this changing how I do my to-do lists every day, is that at the end of the day, I used to feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to, I'll never get all this stuff done. I have so much to do. I didn't like I would work my butt off all day long and I would not feel great at the end of the day about all the things I'd accomplished. I'd really focus a lot on the things that I had not yet gotten done, which was crazy because my to-do list was like a long running to-do list. And so now what I'm doing is if I have something I would normally have just added to the bottom of my to-do list, I'm assigning it to a particular day. And then when that day's tasks fill up, I go to the next day. And if something needs to be moved, like, oh no, this needs to happen tomorrow, that I'm going to take something off tomorrow and move it, to another day so that I am not constantly feeling. And so you know what happens? 5 or 5:30 in the afternoon, I'm like done with my tasks for today. Sometimes I start working on the next day's tasks, which is great. But instead of feeling overwhelmed, I feel great. I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish today and maybe even a little bit extra. And yet I'm doing the exact same amount of work. So, but I feel completely different about it. And I think that is really, like for me, that was really like a massive, key to that. Okay. So Mama says, that sounds delicious. Amy, what brand?
It's Craft Explorer. I got it at Lidl.
All right. That sounds delish. Okay. Coffee Life, bringing y'all on the laptop to the kitchen so I can make homemade hot cocoa on the stove. Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Ooh.
I'm going to their house because I want that.
I know, that does sound good. Jen Wrights Romance is here. Hello, Jen. We are very, very glad to see you today. Super glad you made it. All right, RC's got 6 projects lined up after these 2. Very, very nice. Vixen says, I need to be happy with forward progress too, Amy. I too have a big family, part-time job, take care of it home, all that other stuff. Yeah, I think being realistic is hugely helpful because the other thing about that is you get those wins, right? If you accomplish something, you feel better about it. It gives you some energy and motivation. And I think just that makes a huge, huge difference. All right.
One of the things that I've done that really helps with that, and I've told Amy about this multiple times, is I keep what I call a to-done list. And basically at the end of the day, I write down everything I have accomplished and gotten done that day. So even though I'm not accomplishing the goals I originally set out, I can look back and be like, yeah, I did things. Things got done. It just wasn't what I wanted to originally.
Right. That, yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah, I've talked about that in the past. My journals, my basically bullet journal is not a to-do, it's a to-done. I record my work that I've done. And I think that's part of the reason why, like I said earlier, like once I stopped saying, okay, I have to finish this in a certain amount of time,
right,
everything got better. And my journal turned into more of like a record keeping.
Right.
I could go on for like 45 minutes because I've got this new system that I worked out, and I was like totally bragging to Sky and Caro in our group chat. I sent them like literally 30 screenshots to explain to them everything that I had going on. But I figured out how to coordinate my ClickUp with my Google Calendar, with my notebook. Like I've got this whole system going, and it took me all year to figure this out, but I've finally got it. And I sent them all these screenshots. It was like everything's color coordinated. Like I've got time blocking. I've also got a list of, I've only got 3 things that I pencil in to do every day during my time, which is usually when I like catch up on housework and stuff. So I've only got 3 things and that's it. And, so everything gets worked on, but it takes me a long time to get to those, benchmarks.
Right.
But Sky actually turned me on to that, the whole to done thing a long time ago. And then she also, she showed me that HB90 course. She let me look at the HB90 material. And earlier you had mentioned how she talks about, you're trying to pay your bills with the same $100 over and over. Right. That is kind of what she gets at in that HB90 content that Sky shared with me. She's like, no, you think you have so much time, but then when you actually break it down and account for stuff that you can't negotiate, I have to do this. I have to spend at least an hour every day. And the first thing in the morning because I don't even know how many animals to take care of first thing because everybody's hungry and needs to get out.
Right.
So like I have non-negotiable times when things have to happen. And yeah, it took me about a good 6 months of just struggling, but I finally figured out like this kick-ass system with the ClickUp. ClickUp is now my new best friend. Like I'm mildly in love with ClickUp.
Really?
And yes. Oh man, Sky and Caro know because every time they put out a new feature, I'm like, oh my god, sending them screenshots and stuff. They even have a new doc feature where they're like mimicking what Notion can do. Where you've got that big blank document and you can insert,
anything?
Basically blocks. They even
Mhm.
got that now. So
Wow.
yeah, it took me a whole year, but I've got it. So I'm really looking forward to continuing this into 2023 and seeing if it works for me.
I love that. That is absolutely fantastic. That's really, really cool. Love,
Yeah.
love that.
I'm planning my new year on the what worked and what didn't over the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Doing my little chalkboard calendar and putting those things like we talked about that I can check off boxes every day and see how much I get done. That works best for me. So I'm going to do that from month to month, week to week. And also for NaNoWriMo, getting that retro writing device was kind of fun and encouraging. And it was like an old word processor, which is how I initially started my writing. So for Christmas, I'm getting a couple of other retro devices, and I'm going to keep switching them up from month to month or even week to week to try to keep things fresh and keep my interest going. Like, I was more productive in Nano than I was, in the last 6 months.
Oh, that's great.
Me too.
Ah,
That was awesome.
that's so fantastic.
I did more writing in November than I have the entire year put together.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the entire year because I did get through a draft, but it was at least as much as the entire year.
Wow. That is amazing. That is completely amazing. So I'm going to go back to the chat for a little while, but have you be thinking about this as you're working? Have you guys had any goal setting aha moments that you're planning to use for 2023? So like anything, I'm taking this down because I just realized I said moment.
I was premature with my giving the answers to that question already.
That's okay. That was actually what inspired it. So yeah, that was it. So let us know, you guys, if you've had any like big sort of aha moments. All right, let's see. Here we go. Look who's here, Tamara. Hey, Tamara, we're super glad to see you today. Very nice. What is your big monster goal for 2023? That's what we want to know today. And so love. Okay, so Jen says, just added to my task starting in the new year, so I got to do something to plan my time out. So this was something, I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. This is something that I had never done this way before. I said how Sky had talked about doing marketing events every week. And I love that concept. And I thought, wow, you could do it. And it felt like, oh, how am I going to fill up the whole year? But then when I looked at my, all the books that I wanted to write, and then all the other sort of projects. Love that, Caro. When I looked at all that stuff, I started thinking about okay, how much time is it going to take me to write this book? Each individual book. Like it takes me less time to write nonfiction than it does to write fiction. And if I'm going to release, this many books this year, how am I going to space those out through the year? Do pre-orders? Caro, you're hilarious. Do pre-orders and all that other stuff. So when I took all that stuff, and then I did marketing events around every book release. Caro, you're hilarious. And I did marketing and books around every book release, like the pre-order, the launch day, any kind of a sale, the audio release. If you're writing romance and you're doing an audio book with a narrator, with a hunky narrator that's popular in the genre, you should do a narrator announcement. And so, like, once I looked at all the books that I wanted to do, and then all of those kind of basic marketing events that you would do anyway without putting them all out, I had less kind of space to fill up than I thought. So, but it also helped me like plan out, okay, if I'm going to do YouTube videos, you want to make sure that they're connected to those marketing events and things like that. So it's been more of like a gigantic jigsaw puzzle for me to plan this year, but I'm hoping that we see the results of that in the execution. So we'll see. If I'm like releasing like a mad woman all year on 2023, and you guys are like, "What is that? Another sale from Lisa Daly?" Then you'll know it's working. If you
I have a professional question.
If you see nothing, you'll know why. Yes.
How does all of that coordinate with your newsletter? Do you announce like everything for the book at one time, or do you do just what's going to happen that month?
No. So here's the thing. You guys know how I feel about the newsletter. The newsletter is like your most important marketing tool. I am all about my newsletter peeps. They get to know everything first. So if the pre-order's going up on Monday, the newsletter people hear about it on Friday, and everybody else gets to hear about it that following week. So while I scheduled all my newsletters, I scheduled all my marketing event, and the newsletters will, be related to whatever the big announcement is that week. They get the news on Friday, where everybody else gets it further on. You guys want to see it? Let me show you my Notion page. You're like, what?
Yeah, I'm curious because I want to know like what you've talked about a couple of the events that you're talking about, but like without knowing what your publishing schedule looks like, it's hard to know like how many are for each book, if that makes sense.
Well, here's the beautiful thing. Okay,
geez,
so this is January, and we just put it for 2 days, but I put it for 2 days every day, although this one's like 3. I'm not sure why. Probably because I wanted to see all the little things. I have it all coordinated where it tells what kind of event it is. So this one's a pre-order announcement. This one's a cover reveal. This one's an audio release. This one is a pre-order. This pre-order is going live, but it's the pre-order for the second book in the series, which you want to get up before the first book releases. So I'm not going to be announcing that one. As you can see, it says save announcement until the cover reveal, because I don't want to get people confused about which book is coming out. But so that pre-order goes up that month or that week, and then the next week is the release of H1, which is hockey, first book in the hockey series. And then we're adding in, when I say we, I don't mean the little mouse in my pocket. My assistant will be taking some of those marketing duties, and some of them will be for me. And so we're working to sort of schedule those things out. What's cool about this, having this on Notion, is that I can do like just book launches and get all my dates. Right. Nice. Or I could do just cover reveals and find out when things are going to happen, or box set reveals, or pre-orders. When are all the pre-orders come up? And so I know like when I have to have my covers due, because I know when I've got my pre-orders up, and I know this and I know that. So it seems like it took a lot to do that first one. It took a lot to like figure out where all the 52 weeks, and like I said, I have a week every quarter that's blank, so I can move things around like a puzzle piece. But when I did that kind of automatically filled things up, and then I had to figure out like I had to do that sort of based on how much time it would take me to write different things or release things I already had. And then part of it too was like, since it's a hockey romance book, hockey rom-com, I wanted to do my releases with things that were relevant to hockey. So the first book is coming out like during the week of the All-Star break, which is right. So yeah, so that made it like, that was just like an extra degree of challenge for creating the schedule. But then things like like sales were like things where I try to schedule at least one sale for each book every like for every book got at least one 99-cent sale. And then my hope too is if I am able to stick to my publishing schedule, that I'll also be able to do like a couple of box sets with books, which feels like a new release, but it's content you already have. So I'm excited about that too. So yeah, like I said, this is either going to be like a movie next year because it'll be like I will be like, I have discovered the first like planning system for me, or it will go. The whole thing will go down in flames, and it'll just be like I know Carol's laughing at me, or it will just be like a spectacular failure. So yeah, there's that. Okay, but I will say so one thing that was great about this, you guys know I have like a social media helper who just does my Instagram, and I do have an assistant now. And so one of the things that was really great about planning out what we're going to do for the whole year is that I can hand over the link to the calendar. And so my social media person doesn't have to like message me once a month and say, hey, what are you doing this month? Anything exciting happening? Because she can see, oh, this week is the release of this. So she can prep things ahead of time and we can always coordinate. So yeah, we'll see. I feel very excited about this. It feels very different for me. We'll see whether or not it works. Okay. Let's see. Answer 3. Mama Word says no big aha moment this year, just not relying on others this year. Very good. RC says newsletters, maybe. Mama says, I do need to start a newsletter, but starting a Substack may take priority. Well, you have to decide what's most important for you. Tamara says, I'm getting better with my newsletter, but I need to redesign my cozy newsletter. Very nice. Love that. Yay. So what is your biggest concern about planning this year? What do you guys like? Are there any things that you guys are worried about?
Is this question 4 or did we all answer question 3?
Did we all answer question 3? I don't know. Let's check. Let's go back. I'm halfway through.
I don't remember what
all right, I'm going to start with you,
question
Kara. Question 3 is scrolling on the bottom. Have you had any goal-setting aha moments you're planning to use for 2023? Okay, so let's go around. I don't think I did this. Oh, except for Story Detective. He was the one who inspired the question. So okay, so Caro, any aha moments this year? Oh,
we can't hear you, Caro, if you're talking.
You're turned off. There goes your camera. You know what?
Oh.
Okay, here's what we got you.
No, I don't know if you saw it, but no, I was asking why you had to put me on the spot like that. No, I guess my big aha moment, it's not really an aha, but there's a term and it's called a planner hopper, and it's somebody who hops from planner to planner. And
that sounds like it was a word made for you.
Love
you.
All right. So what I learned as my aha moment was that I am a planner hopper. So moving into the following year, I'm just going to stick with my current system because I don't have that much money.
Okay. That's good.
That was my aha moment.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Let's take bets on how long that's going to last.
Yeah. I
love you, Kara. I love you.
If we all give Caro planners for Christmas this year, and she has like 18 planners under her tree, will she still be like, nope, I'm sticking to the one? Or will she be like, me, give it to me?
All I hear is this naysay about my commitment.
We're so proud of you, Caro.
I'm going to go back to showing you guys my planners. Y'all mean to me. I'm sitting here trying to be my best self.
We love you.
Well, don't feel bad. I have the same problem with keyboards and waiting stuff. So.
That's true. That's true. My addiction is my sticker habit, I think. I probably have more than that, actually. The horror can tell you. And shoes. Oh, my God.
The one thing that I got for a retro device, which I already tested when it came in to make sure it worked, but it's going to be a Christmas gift. When I was writing initially, when I first decided to take a novel seriously, I was writing on a Brother Geo book, which was like a budget laptop.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was marketed for people that thought, you know, laptops cost like $2,000 to $5,000, and we have this alternative, which you can have email and a word processor and spreadsheet data, things like that, that you can get work done, and you don't have to be uh, a millionaire or a genius to operate it. So those were the times that I was like emailing a lot back and forth with Saul Stein, and there's a lot of nostalgia in that Brother Geo book. And they had two models. One was a higher end one,
Mm-hmm.
and one was a basic. I had the basic because the higher end one was never really in most stores.
Ah,
I know
okay.
a couple of collectors that have them, and there's two in museums under artifacts for laptop history. And I found one on eBay. They pop up once in a blue moon. They're almost impossible to find. And the
What?
guy that listed it had no idea what he had. I got this thing for $75.
What?
Nice.
You are
So,
so good at that. Oh my
so I'm getting
gosh.
back to basics, and I'm getting back on a relatively budget-friendly addiction.
Very nice.
I had that happen one time with Tool Notebook. Somebody had a 10-pack of the 5-pack of dividers, and they had it listed for like $10 on eBay or make an offer. So I made an offer of $5 and they made an offer of $7.50. And I was like, ka-ching, yes, thank you. And I don't know if
Great
they
when that
marked it up
happens.
or not. Yeah, but each one of those 5 sets is like $10 to $15 depending on where you got it. And I got 10 of them for $7.50.
Wow.
So yeah, ka-ching on that one.
That's amazing. That is completely amazing.
Well, the
I love it when
regular
it works
ones
out
that
like
are
that.
low budget are going for about $150. The higher end model, I don't even know what kind of a price to put on it, but it would be at least several $100s. And the guy on eBay looked up the lesser model for 150, and that's what he listed it as.
Oh,
And I made an
wow.
offer of 75, and he took it.
Ah, that's
Nice.
amazing. That is so amazing. That's
I love it when it
amazing.
works out like that.
Love it. I know, me too. That is absolutely fantastic. All right, you guys in the chat, any big aha moments with planning that you are planning to put into your that you're planning to use this year when you're executing your plans?
I mentioned it earlier, but I spent like the whole second half of the year just hanging on for dear life between the things that were happening and me trying to keep up with work demands and everything. Like,
Yeah.
my second half of the year was rough. And so I had plenty of time basically to work on my planner. And like I said, it took me months, but I finally figured out how to use this ClickUp, and it is now the most amazingest thing ever. And that was my aha moment when I realized how to actually utilize the ClickUp for to coordinate all of my client work. It's not just a task list anymore. Even on the free version, they have like time estimate and time lapse. Like you can actually record how long it takes you to do some tasks. And the big one that made all the difference for me was that you can also add priority tags to your tasks now.
I love that.
And so I started realizing that, like, if I schedule all this stuff, I'm not going to make it because something will come up that's more interesting or more, compelling for whatever reason. And it throws off my whole thing. My time blocking still works, but all these deadlines that I just took, an hour to set all this stuff for the next 3 days. Because now I'm scrambling.
Right.
But if I enter these tasks and then I prioritize them, I can just see, because I have different, a list for each client. And so I can filter out the priorities. So everything that's red, I can do those first. And those are the things that get done first. And then I can move on to the yellows. and really figuring out how to utilize the ClickUp and all the tools that it offers me. It even gives me sprints and sprint points for the agile marketing.
Oh.
And that was it. Like, that's when I legitimately cried one day, because I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been trying to figure out for a whole freaking year now, struggling to balance my work and my clients and losing notes and links and all that crap because I put it in here
that.
and it wouldn't make it. And that was it. So I'm like, I've been telling everybody, I'm like, ClickUp is the answer to everything.
To everything. That's how I feel about Notion,
Everything.
actually. I heard people talk about it. And then when I started using it, I love it. Like, I love that I can assign people, for work. I love that I set deadlines on it and it like sends me reminders. I love that I can add things. I can basically see my entire like author business on my phone. I love it. I absolutely, absolutely love it.
I use Notion for all of my academics stuff. I still schedule everything in my ClickUp. That way, again, everything can have a priority tag. But how awesome ClickUp is to be able to like interlink stuff, like connect documents and all those filters that they offer you. Freaking awesome. I use it for all my school stuff.
That is amazing. So another thing that I love this. Okay, so Laura says plan in depression downtime. So if you are struggling with depression and you can't function in other ways, you can plan during that time. I think that's such a good idea because one, that gives you something to look forward to, for anybody who has dealt with depression. And I think, anytime you get a group of writers together, the answer is like a lot of people, if not all, a lot of people have on the various spectrum of depression, myself included. And so I think that's really fantastic because you're doing two things. One, you're still doing something when you feel like you can't do anything. And also it gives you like a little something to look forward to. So I love that. That's really awesome. Okay, so Tamara says, it's the first time in my life where my health forced me to pay attention. I can't do all the things, even though I really want to. I'm a work in progress. Aren't we all, baby? Aren't we all? That is super, super true. All right. What? Okay, answer 4. I haven't had a Q4, but what is your biggest concern for 2024? I guess that's our big question. Is the continuing collapse of the indie author. Is that true? Why do we feel like the indie author is collapsing? I feel like there are more and more opportunities. The fact that
I was about to say collapsing. What?
Yeah, I think, there are so many opportunities for indie authors. In audiobooks in particular, I see a huge opportunity because it's just not as crowded of a marketplace, and yet it's growing and growing and growing, but it's still expensive to produce audiobooks unless you do some sort of revenue share. And so I feel like that's a good opportunity. Now, Findaway Voices has partnered with Spotify. So all those audiobooks going through Findaway are going to be up on Spotify, which is amazing. So I'm curious. There are some challenges. Amazon has done some interesting stuff with categories. We're going to see how that plays out. They also did something cool where you can now tag your Amazon is going to allow you to tag things with regard to your books so that like whether or not your Facebook ads are paying off or your Amazon ads are paying off, which that's a new feature that they're just releasing. So that's pretty cool. We totally get that. All right, here we go. Planning functionally and also creatively was huge for my mental health. Good for you. Very nice. Mom Ward says, I've always planned downtime and non-writing creative time. So important, right?
I got to that point where I had to actually schedule my downtime, and you can thank Caro for that because she said it the first time and I didn't listen, and then she said it the second time and I didn't listen, and then the third time, in a classic Caro moment, she was like, "Bitch, you are not listening to me. You have
literally
to
just like
schedule
that.
this."
You have no idea.
We do. We know you. We have an idea.
Yeah. So learning to actually schedule, like I pencil it in. I've been doing the time blocking thing a lot. And so I literally block out sections of my calendar and color it in with a dark color. So I can't write anything in there because I have to schedule my downtime.
Yeah.
I block out family time that way.
Yeah, I think it's so important. I know I have my, I have separate calendar colors for, for different types of projects, but my family has their own, they're all green. And so, yeah, you got to plan that out. And what's crazy is that I've taken off more time in the last few months than I did probably all of last year. I took off most of the week for Thanksgiving. I'm taking off the last 2 weeks for December because like it's, everything kind of shuts down anyway. So me trying to crank out stuff is not going to be really effective. But having that downtime and just hanging out with my family and letting my brain rest, that's just huge. Absolutely huge. Heather says, I also realize I have to plan on having health related down days as I can get migraines. Yeah. So she's talked about that quite a lot. And I will say the first person that I ever heard say that was Carol, who says, well, you should schedule make your plans like you have the flu. Don't plan it like it's the greatest, most productive day of your life, but plan like you're trying to accomplish if you have the flu.
Yeah, I really had to take that advice to heart this past year. Once I did.
Wait.
Are we saying Carol had a good idea?
All I'm hearing is if y'all listen to me from the start.
Sometimes
it's okay. I understand you're on your own character arc. You gotta grow. You gotta encounter difficulties. You gotta face your character line. You gotta overcome it. I understand. Just listen to me.
You're my words.
We have to grow. We have to grow our own character arc. That is exactly true.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
We kind of have to see it because we all have that idea that we need to go up that hill instead of down the hill.
There's okay, so I got a Caro story for you because I haven't had a Caro story in like 2 hours, so I'm vibrating.
It's time. It's time.
Yes, it's time. All right, so there's a guy I work with at one of the contract jobs that I do, and he always warns folks when he brings me onto the team that I am blunt, and I don't shy away from it because I am. I know, right? And so at one point in the meeting, this guy that I was working with basically said, yeah, I talked to the lawyer, and he said that as long as we change this many characteristics of a character, nobody can come at us for legal ramification. Because they were basically copying a character from another game, right? And I was just and me being a gamer and an avid reader, I basically said, yeah, sure, in the court of legal, you'll be totally fine, but in the court of public opinion, you're fucked because everybody's going to see that you were lazy, cheap, and quick, and they're going to see that you made a shit product. So if you want to do that, then go ahead and do that. But if you want to do it and actually make it right, then you're not going to do that. And he just kind of sat there and looked at me, and he was like, okay. I was like, yeah. So if he listens to me, that is another matter.
Yeah. That's it. All right, Mary.
This is the same place I worked at where they called me at 9 o'clock at night, and we have something really important to talk to you about. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's talk. I'm ready. And they brought me onto this call. First off, they were both inebriated, so I was like, this is a terrible start. Right?
Or a good one.
And the guy was just kind of like, I don't mean to be mean to you, Kara, but you scare me. I was like, well, that just means you have sense. That's okay.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You have good sense to listen to Carol Brown. All right, you guys, our fourth question. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for all your wisdom. So question number 4. What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge for 2024? And I want to add a little piece onto that. How are you going to solve it? So what do you think your biggest challenge is? And how are you going to solve it? If you don't have the second part yet, that's okay. Just put your biggest challenge up.
You mean skipping ahead till the following year?
Oh, did I say 2024?
I was a little confused for a minute.
I'm already. I'm my 2023 is so set. I'm skipping to 2024.
She's I'm ready to move on to the better times. This year looks hard. It looks like it's got work. I'm just gonna.
It's gonna be. Oh Oh my
I
gosh.
just
And
fell into that and I'm like, what am I missing?
no, it's 2023. I'm just so raring to go. It already feels like 2023. Okay. So what do you think your biggest challenge is for 2023? And if you know yet, how are you planning on solving / tackling that? And you should know that people who plan for setbacks actually are more likely to accomplish their goals. So if you think about the things that could stop you and put a plan in place, like, hey, I'd like to release 17 books this year, but my biggest challenge might be that I'm struggling with writing, then you have to figure out like, what are you going to do to solve that? Okay. 2024, 2023. I'm in the right year this year. Let me look at my calendar. Yes, 2023. Okay. So what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge for 2023? Does anybody have would anybody
I
like
have an
to
answer.
share?
Yes.
Okay,
I have
good.
Yeah, I was
mine
about
ready.
to say I'm ready after Amy.
Yeah, I've got mine.
Okay, what's yours?
My biggest challenge for 2023 is going to be that because I'm in a position that I've never been before, I already know there's stuff I don't know. I'm trying
I'm
to
right here,
educate
bitch. I
myself.
can help you.
But that's part of my plan, and I've already got a plan in hand for it. Is I'm making sure that I am two things. One, not trying to figure this shit out on my own. I've already thrown several work questions out at Caro. And two, I've also started trying to automate as much as I possibly can. And I don't just mean automation in just my like work digital life. If I can automate stuff at home too and take down these tasks, I've just started like, I've got a checklist. I've got checklists all over the place now. I've literally got a checklist for what I do first thing in the morning. That way I'm just like, boom, 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 it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And automating as much as I possibly can so that I don't have to put thought into these essentials.
Mm-hmm.
And planning and hoping that gives me enough time to compensate and do things like reach out to people like Caro. I'd be like, oh my God, Caro, I don't know how to do that.
There you go. I love that you're automating. This is actually a focus for me as well. This year to get more, like there are repetitive tasks that we all do that little magical bots can do for it. Not everything, but there are some things. And so I've been really trying to look at my processes at the end of the year this year to see what things do I need to do and what things can a robot do and maybe what things can I pass off to someone else to do. I want to pull this back up. It's answer to question 3, which is Mary, what was the big aha moment for 2023? She says healing. I watched one of Sarah's live coffee chats. That word kept coming up. It just resonated with me so much. I feel like almost like as a whole country, maybe the whole world, that like that's sort of the word of 2023, because I just feel like a lot of people have just really been operating under an insane amount of stress. Lady Davis is here. We're super glad you made it. All right.
I love your name, not your mama's bodice ripper. Hello now.
They're not. You got to read some Lady Davis. So Lady
I
says, my big plan for 2023 is to have a plan. So
Yeah.
I think that is a completely awesome. Completely
Big
awesome.
plan. Get out of bed. Make coffee. Eat some fantastic fucking plan.
Yeah, she says that, but this girl knocks out like she's always releasing. She's got box sets. She did this. She organized a free promo last year that I was at. Like this year, I really am trying to just jump right ahead to 20.
You are. Like,
I'm so over
are you done?
I am.
We have to get into the year before you can skip it, Lisa.
I'm finished with 2022. I am ready to move on. I got my brand new exciting plan. I've got to do this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on too. I mean, I do have an answer to the question. My biggest challenge is going to be social media. I have been building up my Instagram.
Yeah.
But YouTube, I have a plan, and the plan is to release a video bi-weekly. And the plan looks good on paper, but how it actually pans out, I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, but YouTube is very discouraging. If it's anything like these recent videos I've done over the past 2-3 months, every time I upload a video, I will get 2 subs right away, and then I will lose 5, like within the next 3 to 5 days after that. So every video I upload, I end
It's
up
cutting
with,
you have fewer subscribers.
yeah, it's a pattern that's happened with every video. I will lose 5 subscribers within the first 5 days of the upload. Well, 5 to 7 days. I will get 2 usually pretty quickly, and then I will lose 5. So I will end up with less subscribers after I release every video than I had when I started.
Have you
For
been
what
checking to see how legit those are? Because that's a spam tactic to
Yeah.
actually lower your videos in the algorithm so that other people's videos will look more appealing. It was
Yeah.
a spam tactic to make it look like your content is decreasing in quality, but this other one is increasing in quality. So I would pay attention to see how many of those look like they're just straight up spam bots that you're losing, because it just means you're being targeted by a spam plan, basically, to make other people look more interesting.
Interesting. Because whatever the
Yeah.
spam plan is, and I pretty much concluded it was YouTube, because prior to that, whenever I stopped, I would hit that same exact pattern. When I was uploading regularly, then I would be more consistent. I might lose 1 sub when I uploaded, but then I would, be fine after that. But now I'm losing like a chunk with every upload.
That's
So when I was doing Power Hour in November, that was actually probably the first time that Amy had gotten notifications that I would go live on YouTube. And that was only after the first week. So I had to upload regularly, consistently for at least 7 days before YouTube was like, oh yeah, we can promote this person's stuff. So, and one other thing that I know, not from where I work at, but from associates of that person, YouTube is a little biased about who they want to promote.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
so unless you've got like a really fancy lawyer that will call YouTube for you, they're gonna tell you to suck it. So,
Yes.
or
You
you could buy a blonde wig. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought of that, Robert?
The blonde wig doesn't help either. They're looking for a different demographic, ma'am.
All right. Well, so it is challenging. Although I think probably your YouTube algorithm is also relearning what your upload behavior is or what your upload schedule is, and so some of that will probably even out a little.
I'm kind of
But
hoping
it's
it
so
does.
frustrating, I'm sure.
Since I've gotten demonetized, Georgie's not even getting notifications when I upload a video anymore.
What?
I'm not
Oh
sure how
no!
many people are actually getting notifications.
I'm not getting notifications either. Actually, I usually
So there
find
you
out.
go.
Yeah,
Me
I
neither.
actually find
So
out you've uploaded a video like on the Wednesday stream where you talk about the video, and I go, "Oh, I got to go back and look at that."
That doesn't benefit YouTube at all, because if they're not promoting channels, they're not getting views. So it's almost like they're punishing you, but trying to make you think, "Oh my God, I better upload more because my channel is in jeopardy." And I don't really give a shit at this point. I'm not going to play their game. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do.
That's right. YouTube is a bad boyfriend. It's a bad boyfriend.
They are.
Well, no, the thing with YouTube is that they're getting paid by advertisers in the bigger broadcast channels. So when it comes to like little content creators, they don't really care. What they care about is making that percentage off of the people that are monetized and getting a lot of views. And they're usually doing like salacious articles, right? So they're doing that. That's where they're making their money at. And unfortunately, in AuthorTube, I hate to break it to you guys if you weren't aware of it, we're a niche market and we don't really make a lot of money. So when it comes to trying to like promote us, it's not really high on the bracket. What they're looking for are more people like who do like drama channels, right? Because what do people like to gravitate towards? They like to gravitate towards drama, like weird stuff that can be clickbait, like all of that stuff. Like there's a reason that Philip DeFranco kind of writes his headers as "I'm sorry guys" when he's really capturing the quote of like some celebrity that he's quoting, right? Like he's not actually sorry. So
he's not sorry. I can't believe it.
I know Philip DeFranco once a week says "I'm sorry guys," but he's really talking about a celebrity. So we're kind of
that in every title. I'm sorry, guys.
You should. Yeah, make them all clickbait. Like, like I'll put one that says "see my tits" and like watch like the thing go up, right? Like you laugh, but
I have
we all know it's true.
Like writer versus YouTube, and it seemed like a bit of a challenge and a little bit more drama there, that I got more views on that one than I did
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I don't want to point fingers at names and stuff like that because I like to think I'm a bigger adult. But there, the people that do well in AuthorTube, one of the things that they do at least on a weekly basis is that they have a salacious topic, right? And it's usually along the lines of like, your book sucks because, right? And nobody wants their book to suck, right? So they're like,
Right,
okay,
so we
why
have to
does my
find
book
out
suck?
why. Why does
Yeah.
my book suck?
Yeah,
Person
or
who shall remain unnamed. Okay.
yeah, or they'll have like the video. Like I saw one that came out yesterday, and it was kind of like the tea about AuthorTube. And I was like, "There's no fucking tea about AuthorTube. We're boring as fuck, right?"
we are a little bored.
Gee, I mean that's
Yeah,
that's like 30
But-
years ago.
and that's the only reason that people can get their videos to click on, because they're going for the gossip. And you know, my channel is very boring. I'm kind of like, would you like to be a better writer? Let me show you the way. It's like, why are my views going down? I don't understand. Like
that.
oh,
Well,
shit.
that we could go all day on the challenges of YouTube.
True.
Let's hop back to our question 4. What do you think your biggest challenge is for 2023 or 2024 if you're ahead like me? Stacy says follow through, that she gets unmotivated. This is my biggest challenge for almost everything. So do you like love the beginning, like shiny new projects, and then like once you get to the middle when it gets a little bit more challenging, is that where you're struggling? Or is it just like nothing keeps your attention? Can you break it down into even smaller pieces to get kind of more little wins? What's going on with that? Let us know. I did a little pop-up and said hi, but Morgan's here. Hello, Morgan. We are very, very glad to see you today. So Laura's biggest challenge, not getting distracted by other projects all the time, ADHD, set deadlines I will be accountable to other people for. Yes, good plan of action as far as how you're going to solve that. Very nice. Being accountable to other people, I think, is it really is such a powerful tool, because you like just the idea of like reporting, you don't want to say you didn't get your thing done. We want to do it. So yeah, absolutely. Hey Alexa, we are very glad. Okay, biggest productivity challenge is MBA coursework. It does take up a lot of time. That's a whole lot. Time, energy on top of my full-time job that is also really demanding. So how are you going to handle that this year? And obviously your new year starts like in September. So how are you handling that now? And how are you going to handle that for a second semester? All right. Mama Ward says A4A. Answer 4A. I feel like the indie author market is getting so crowded, so expensive, so overwhelmed with the feeling that success is too hard to gain in the marketplace with all the bad.
Oh wait, I have an answer for this. Mama Ward, read a book called Positioning. It's the keystone book about marketing that, of course, like Lisa can talk about. Like everybody should know this, except if you didn't take a marketing degree.
Right.
So I would recommend that you read it. There's like a 20-year anniversary edition that came out, and that talks about how to be heard in a lousy world. So that would be my advice.
I think that's really fantastic. I think that's really, really great advice. Mama says, Trad Pub and book sales news this year. I want to get back to the joy of storytelling, writing, and publishing books. I made more than many indies, but I hated it. That is the truth of it, right? If you are doing something like, yep, I'm making cash, but I don't love it, that is going to burn you out. I mean, it just is. So yes. I think finding the joy in writing or in whatever else it is that you're doing, if you need to step back from writing and do a little, step forward with something else, that's the deal. Because why are we here on the planet if we're not going to have fun and not going to do the thing that we love? So I completely feel you. I really struggled, as you guys know, during the pandemic in particular, with not feeling funny during a time when everybody was scared and the world was weird and everything was kind of upside down and backwards and all of that. And that has been the thing that I've been trying to like re-inject back into my work, is just the happiness of it, just the straight on happiness of it.
Yeah, me too. But the thing with Amazon is, there are a lot of indie authors that are embracing story structure and different craft points, which is good. They're learning. But when they're trying to meet those Amazon numbers, and I think we touched on this on one of the lives, they're not going to be able to meet it effectively because you're just cranking out words. And when you're working at that kind of pace, you're not learning. I've looked at so many people that their 8th book is exactly the same type of writing. It hasn't gotten any better since the first book. And that says a lot. Don't pay any attention to those numbers because they're for Amazon. They want more money. And if the books are only selling a little niche amount with all of the indie authors that have a small following, then of course uploading more means more for them.
Right.
That's not designed for indie authors at all.
Right.
So just have fun, produce your best work, enjoy it. And if you enjoy it and put your heart in it, then people will probably relate to it a lot more than those 12 books that people have put out, once a month.
Yeah. Well, and there is something to be said. There's sort of a, there's wisdom, the sort of prevailing wisdom is that you need 1,000 loyal fans in a creative field to have an excellent career. 1,000 fans. And so if you're worried more about Amazon and the marketplace and all of that, that does suck out a lot of joy. But if you are staying focused on finding your 1,000 fans or your 5,000 fans or your however many you're trying to kind of get to, but start with 1,000 because it's not a lot. It doesn't feel like an overwhelming number. And that's all you need is 1,000 people who can't wait to read your next thing to have a career that will sustain you for the rest of your career. So find the joy and then find the people who feel that and set up a newsletter so you can email them every time you have a new book come out so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Newsletter plug here. That's what we need. We need a newsletter moment graphic. Every time I nag people to start a newsletter, it'll be like a ta-da. Yeah, I'm gonna get right on that. I'm sorry. Okay, Coffee Life says editing revisions of the current manuscript to prepare for querying and procrastination is my biggest nemesis. So, Coffee Life, what are you going to do? If you know the answer, or you can start thinking about it, what are you going to do to avoid procrastination? Or what happens when you start procrastinating? What do you do instead? Let's do that. Okay. Yes. I'm not quite sure.
If I get to the point where I'm procrastinating involuntarily, I veg out. I will pick up my tablet and play Gardenscapes for 3 hours. If it gets to the point where I'm I just can't do this thing, right. I go into shutdown mode and just relax, and I can't really stop it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think now when I find myself procrastinating is why am I avoiding doing the thing that I've scheduled myself to do and that I've said is important to me? Like I say, writing books is my most important. If I do nothing else in 2023, I'm writing books. So if that's the most important thing and I schedule it first thing in the morning and I give it a nice big chunk of time, why am I answering emails, or why am I texting with one of my author buddies, or why am I doing this? And that sometimes it's I need to kind of settle in and just open the document and get my butt in the chair and get myself a snack and focus. And sometimes there's some problem or some other thing. And sometimes it's just some other thing on my mind. But if I can at least identify the reason why I'm why am I wanting to do everything? Why am I shopping for, toilet paper and Epsom salts to be delivered versus actually writing my book that I can't wait to finish? If you could figure out the reason that you're procrastinating, sometimes it helps you to overcome it.
That was a huge thing for me to actually learn how to introspect that moment. Because when you're procrastinating, you're actively trying not to think about this thing. And that was a big lesson that was hard for me to learn. It took me a long time to figure that one out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can. It's hard. It's really hard. But just being aware of it, I want to do this. I decided 3 weeks ago that this is a priority in my life and I'm going to make time to do it. Why am I not doing it? And if you can just call yourself out. And sometimes it's I'm tired. I worked too hard yesterday. I just want to sit on the couch and watch Hallmark movies. Sometimes that's the answer. Your brain's just tired. You need a break. And sometimes it's like, well, I have a plot problem that I'm avoiding, or sometimes it's, some other thing. Okay, Vixen has a great answer. Biggest challenge of 2023. She wants to get better at social media. Know what I like to do that works for my channel. Don't worry about what others are doing. I think that's very, very good advice. One thing that I heard.
Wait. Before you get too lost in the comments and responding to them, we only have 6 minutes left.
What? Oh no,
Yeah.
I have 10 o'clock on my thing. What? Is that true?
Oh,
We got started a little later.
Oh, we did. Okay, well, we'll go for another. We're going to have to get through the comments anyway, so we'll get through them.
Okay.
All
I'm
right,
just
so
letting you know as your official timekeeper.
I totally would have just kept going for all night long. So thank you for letting me know. Okay, let's hop through here. Laura's got her pages thumbnailed. Woo, ended up with 7. Very nice. Vixen says, I'm monetized. YouTube does not promote my channel. I won't do clickbait thumbnails. Oh, well. You know what? That's okay. Keep doing your thing. Like, just do what you're doing. Morgan. Everybody loves Morgan. Lainey says, my biggest challenges are unexpected shakeups in my kids' school schedules. I'm not sure yet how I'll handle it, but I think planning will be helpful, like planning my day so I write in the morning. That is the thing that saved me once I stopped trying, because at least usually if the crap was going to hit the fan, it would be later on. And so I would have already gotten my writing done. And like I said, my daughter was super sick last year, and any given day I would like, ta-da, today's a magical day. I've got my writing morning blocked off. I'm going to get this going. I'm sitting in my chair. I'm all ready to go. I'm inspired. And now we have to go to the emergency room. So you just got to, like, sometimes, especially when you have a family, there's stuff that happens that you don't have any control over. And you just got to, roll with it and try and outsmart it sometimes. And I totally agree with writing in the morning, Lainey. That is when I write too, because otherwise sometimes you don't get to it. All right. Alexa says, working on adjusting expectations of what I can accomplish. This was also big for me this year. I had like a massive list of, I'm going to do this and this and everything and this and this and this. And when I was setting out my year of marketing events, I was like, oh, I can't do like 3/4 of this stuff. I'm just going to, right?
I had big lists too to try to catch up, and then I had to kind of throw those lists out and start recreating habits. And habits start with small amounts, and then they start building and growing exponentially, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit.
Yeah, that's totally true. Totally true. Stacy says, I get sick, distracted, things come up. I have kids. I will have poor mental health days. I get overwhelmed. I get bogged down, and then I just stop working on the goals. I completely feel that, understand it. That was my life last year. I will say that there were days when I felt like I couldn't do anything. And if I could just get one small thing done, then that, kind of gave me more motivation to get more stuff going. But there are just some days, some weeks, some months where you just can't, like, all the plans in the world are not going to counteract whatever is going on in your life. So totally doing that. This makes me so happy to see. Heather says, I've also been thinking so much about finding the joy in writing and in telling a story. I think that I do. I think that there's so much power in that. And I think a lot of people are thinking about that this year because we've all had such a rough couple of years. So I'd love that. I think you can't go wrong with trying to find ways to make yourself happier. Laura says, 1,000 people sounds like a lot to me. I'm not even 500 YouTube subscribers. I think 10% rate is generous of how many of those will actually buy my books. You don't have to acquire them all in one day, but what's going to happen is as you're doing outreach, as you're writing books and staying with those people, you're going, and the way to figure out where to find the other 999 people after you have your first fan, and I will be your first fan, Laura, if you don't already have one, I'll be your first one. But once you get your first fan, then figure out like, what does this person have in common with this other person who likes my books? What more can I learn about this? And if you're, I know I always talk about the newsletter. If you're communicating with people in a newsletter, you can see what they like, you can see what they respond to, you can see what they want, and you can see what they ask you, what questions they ask you when they respond to you. But I know it does sound like a lot, like if you had to collect them all in one afternoon, like where are 1,000 of my closest friends?
Can I speak to that a little bit? I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Having a YouTube channel isn't bad because I got 2 jobs because when people looked up my name, they saw I had a channel, so they were able to gauge my personality and if they wanted me to be on the team or not. So like I wouldn't really care too much about the subscriber count because I mean you don't know how many of those are bots, you don't know how many of those people are gonna like buy your content and stuff like that. Think of it more as a professional portfolio in which somebody's going to come and review both your personality and the content that you're producing along with your authority on the topics that you're speaking about. So, and adding to that, it's really important that when you do make content on videos, it's on a subject that you're very familiar with and have a deep pedagogy on the topic that you're speaking about. Because if you don't, it's going to show, and that could lose you opportunities. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say, just because it got me 2 jobs.
I agree. It's, quality over quantity. If you try to meet a schedule there too, then that's not going to work if you're putting out stuff that's just trying to be crowd pleasing.
Yeah. Well, and let's think about the fact that it's really hard to get your first 1,000 subscribers. It's really hard. Speaking of which, I am really close to getting 3,000. If you guys are not subscribed, I would be super grateful. I don't know. I think I'm like 50 people away or something, or 70. I don't know. I'm really close. And it was one of my goals this year was to hit 3,000. So if I accomplished nothing else, that would make me happy. So thank you very much. Okay. It did not mean to turn that into a plug, but I just figured right at the moment. Okay. Mary, I'm only partly reconnecting with the joy of it. I've done some soul searching. We decided not to publish it. She turned it over to me. I barely worked on it. You're going to have like some adjustment, Mary, because you're right. You guys have worked on it together for a long time. Now it's all you. And so, it's going to take a little adjustment, but I think finding the joy in that is really going to be important. Oh my gosh, honey, this is something that every single writer, definitely every person on this screen has experienced at one time or another. Here's what I have to tell you. Your book does not have to be perfect to be loved. And 50 Shades of Grey is a perfect example of that, as is Twilight, another imperfect book that hundreds of thousands, millions of people all over the world really, really love.
They bought the book because it had sex in it.
They loved it. That's the thing, is that you have some magic in you that the readers will connect with, and it does not have to be perfect. It just has to be you and a good story. It doesn't have to be, but you are not, honestly, that perfectionism and the challenges that brings are so common for writers and authors. And I can't even tell you, like, I remember reading an article in the New York Times with Alice Sebold, who wrote The Lovely Bones. And I had just met her at a book expo. And she talked about how her book's on the New York Times bestseller list. She's literally riding to an event in the back of a limo, which is like, for a lot of us when you're kids, like that's like the big fantasy, right? You're a big bestseller, you go to the big event. She said she didn't even feel like a real writer. She's at the top of the New York Times list, and she felt like she was like a fake author. Like at any minute, people were going to figure out it was just a crap book and take everything back, and that was just going to be it. So we all feel like that, and keep thinking, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I'd like to add a little bit to that. Since I just started reading a book by a person who had a big career in TV and decided to write a novel. And when he was going around to what he considered to be like the important writers in Hollywood, asking them what a story actually consisted of, most of them didn't know. And I've had the same experience, not only with writing, but with art. There are so many creators that they get good at one thing. And that one thing, granted, they may have more experience because they're professionals, but they rely on that one thing to carry them. And that means that you don't have to be a genius. If you're good in your understanding of one thing, you put in the practice, build up your confidence, because confidence can take you quite far.
Yeah, that is very true.
Wait, before you keep going.
Yeah.
I have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning.
We're
Me
gonna
too.
this is gonna
Yes,
be our
please.
this is our last. I just want to say something to Vixen, and then we'll wrap it up because we had said
Okay,
we were gonna get
I hate to be like the party
No.
pooper, but like I got an adult tomorrow, so
10 o'clock. We got it. Okay.
okay.
Vixen says, feel like my work is never good enough. I pick it to pieces and then I'm not satisfied with what I'm left with. Try writing without editing. Just keep going forward. And that can help, because then when you read the whole thing as a whole, it's not as easy to pick it apart to death. Right? If it's a whole complete book, there's too much to do all at once. Whereas if you're just looking at where you are now, it's easy to pick it apart. So, but we should actually talk about perfectionism in a regular Wednesday live stream.
That would be a good subject.
Right? It would be. You guys are awesome. We are so happy that you joined us to do the Boozy Planner-o-rama. We too are surrounded by wonderful writers, though, right? And you're one of those. So yeah. You guys are awesome. I'm sorry that we took a few minutes later than we normally do. Let's go around really quickly and do our outros. Let's start with you, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Awesome Buddy. I am very lucky to be friends with everybody on the screen here. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to next time.
Thank you so much for being here. We have not picked a date for next time, which is why we haven't announced it yet, but we will let you guys know. Planner, like I can take my planner off the camera now, I think. Sky, let's do your outro.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Sky. I write paranormal romance under the name St. Haggis, and I have no idea what I'm doing these days. I'm here, and that's it. So, thanks for having me.
Being a badass, that's what you're doing.
You are being a badass. Thank you so much for being here today. Story Detective. Yes, you got that, Vixen.
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, making a comeback this year, I hope. And I take all the experience of my journey through writing and through art and putting all of that under a Sherlockian microscope and breaking down the craft for viewers to make your craft journey easier. And big changes for that channel are underway, so stay tuned.
That's right. All right, yeah, y'all run over and hit notifications on Robert's channel. Even if you know, I'm going to go over notify again, so YouTube will get the message. We want to hear from him. So yes, hi Tamara. Yes, definitely we'll do that. This is so funny. You are now not the first person to communicate with me through a live stream. I'm the worst. All right, thank you so much, Heather. Carol, do you want to do your outro?
Yes. Hi, my name is Kara Brown. I'm a fantasy author. I write romance under the name of Faye Black. I have short stories coming out every week until the first week of March. So if you would like to support my experiment within the self-publishing short story experiment, that is the place to do it. My channel is me talking about the life of an indie author along with bitching about it. So if that is something that interests you, that is the place to go. That is me. I'm very tired.
I can tell. I'll be fast. Thank you so much for being here, you guys, tonight, and helping have a great conversation about planning in 2023 and what our writer goals are. I hope you will join us on Wednesday for our regular writing Word Sprints live stream. We'll be right on this channel from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And as always, I'm Lisa Daly. If you want to write a book you're super proud of and get it published, this is an awesome place to start. Thanks so much. You guys are fantastic. We love you, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.